Hello and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy, Mr. Francis Fernandez. I don't think anybody heard the beginning of any of that because I forgot to hit the button, but whatever. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're here.
We're here. Who needs buttons?
There's actually too many buttons now that I have to push. I think technology.
Why'd you put them on the mini buttons?
Well, the Rodecaster can't be pressed by the Stream Deck. I can do everything else through the Stream Deck. It's just that I can't do the recording from that. I mean, I probably could. I could probably download some fucking software to work with this thing. You know, but then
when there's a will, there's a way. There's always some way.
And you know, there is always a will, and that's why we are on the road to 20 and the road to 2000. There it is.
Oh yeah.
We just got a new follower.
Did you change it to 20? I have.
No,
it's not up on mine yet. So I'm like, oh, okay. So it's still 2000, but it's
and just for Francis. We got
need that.
We got the reggae horn. We got the reggae. We got it. So yeah, we're on the road. So keep on following. And that was Haas 312 that just followed. So thanks for the.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks for the follow. What's going on, Francis? What's new? Why isn't this turning off? Turn off. There we go. What's going on?
Oh, because I mean, the most important thing has been going on. I now know that one must eat, must drink RC Cola from a bottle when eating a moon pie.
Sure. I saw that. I saw that interaction, and I mean, RC Cola. I mean, whatever. Cola's cola. But a moon pie.
Apparently, in the South, it has to be.
Okay. Well,
it has to be RC Cola. Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, a moon pie. I mean, I'm sure it's poisonous to me at this point in my life, but I don't like marshmallow.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's marshmallow with two cookie. It's like a sandwich of marshmallow.
Right.
With two cookies as the buns.
Yes. Yes. Actually, speaking of poisoning myself, I did it this weekend. I treated myself to In-N-Out, and I got me some monster fries, animal fries, monster fries, animal fries, same thing. And, you know, they were delicious. I learned my lesson, Francis. I got it in the box. I drove half a block away and parked my car and ate my food. After devouring the fries, I went to eat the burger, and it had animal sauce all over the paper. You know, the In-N-Out paper. So I take that off and just have the inside wrapper there. Eating my burger.
Oh, yeah.
I look down at the piece of paper, and it says, "Our fries are cooked in 100% sunflower oil." And so what is mid-bite, I'm just like, damn it. Why do I keep doing this to myself?
Well, you've had it before, though,
I have,
without much of a reaction.
Exactly. And that's the thing that's always thrown me is that every time that we've been out in California, I have eaten things outside of my normal diet or outside of the things I normally have access to. So I just figure every once in a while I'm eating something that has a little bit of something in it that I'm reacting to. And it never occurred to me after going to In-N-Out that I was having a reaction to In-N-Out. It just never occurred to me. And until Saturday, whatever day it was. And
wow.
It's I mean, let's be fair. In-N-Out fries, as you told me on the text messages, they do kind of suck. They're like in the echelon of French fries of fast food. They're definitely not, you know, they're not in that top 5. That's for damn sure. Even if you throw the animal on it.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of food, That is probably the lower echelon of French fries.
Right.
Um,
They get you with the the animal style. They get you with that.
oh yeah, because they make it fancy then.
Right. But the way I figure it is
I need you to reply to that.
That cola is not cola. I mean, don't get, yeah. I mean, Lee the fries. I mean, I think everybody should experience everything they have, but they're definitely not on the top of the list as far as the cola goes. I grew up on King Soopers or Kroger brand soda, so I mean, yeah, cola's cola.
You got some explaining to do later on.
Probably.
No, but I mean,
probably.
Yeah. I feel that you can improve on In-N-Out French fries by asking for them well done, which is what I normally do.
And I have
them
done
well done. It's crispier.
Mm-hmm.
It's tastier.
much. I think the last time that we were out there, I asked them for them well done, and it was a much better experience. But it still poisoned me. So
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if for those who are not allergic to sunflower oil, get it well done. They'll do it for you. They'll do a batch just well done, and they're crispier. They're not as chewy. They're crispier, and I think they go better with the animal style that way because it's just you have that blend of the sauce, the onions, and the crispiness of the fries. But anyway, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're alive. Glad that you're not.
Yeah, and I had Benadryl on the standby. I took one just to be safe. But either I got ahead of it or I didn't really have that much of a reaction because I felt fine, really. I mean, I'm cool right up until my voice changes because there's a thing blocking the air coming out of my throat. That's when I don't even get scared. I get mad, like because I don't sound like myself.
Yeah, I mean that's beer and me, so I get you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah. No more. What do you call that? Animal fries or regular fries or even well done fries from the In-N-Out for me. An RC Cola and Moon Pie Gourmet Eaten. Yes, Ginger, you would know.
Oh man.
So
I love it.
Today I had a very fun interaction on the road.
Oh, yeah. Well, you always have fun interactions.
I do tend to have
seems to be your MO.
That I do tend to. I am a bit of an aggressive driver, to be fair. But as I was driving along today, I noticed that I picked the correct lane to get in because the lane next to me was not moving. As I get closer to the source of why it's not moving, I'm like, oh, well, we are right next to a freeway, highway entrance. I don't know what the hell you call these things.
It's
whatever.
Off-ramp or on-ramp.
Yeah, but the on-ramp to whatever you call the highway, freeway, whatever. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're trying to get over, but they're not using their blinker. Maybe they're just stalled. Maybe. As I'm getting next to them, somebody just going to town on their phone. No care in the world.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
There's 50, 75 cars behind this person waiting, trying to get around.
Nice.
So as I go, I kind of keep an eye on things. I can see that this person has now finally started to move and move quick enough, actually, that caught up with me. As she got up and got parallel with me, I look over. I was going to keep this neutral, but I just totally ruined kayfabe. But this lady's just still on her phone, just chilling on her phone, doing 50 miles an hour.
Can you protect kayfabe on a stranger?
Well, I was trying to keep it gender neutral.
Oh.
This person, they, and then, so anyway, they get up next to me again, and I honk my horn at them, and they look over, and I say, "Get off your fucking phone." Their window was up, but I'm really good at, making my mouth move when you need to. Otherwise, I like to mumble a lot, which is weird because I'm a podcaster. But when I need to really enunciate and make sure someone can read my lips,
and
I can do that. Yes.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said that, she looked down at her hand, and I just see her hands just kind of just drop. And I'm like, get me away from this person.
Younger person?
No, older.
Oh.
Easily 10 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like 35. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Francis, it's weird that you bring that up. See, this is why I don't need segues. I don't need to ever think of segues because you, my friend, we are connected somehow in the pod universe. That you were able to bring up my next topic without me bringing up my next topic with an awkward transition, even though I've just made it awkward. I don't like to say it's my birthday week, but because we're probably not going to do a show next week, it's my birthday week. Next Monday is my birthday.
So do you celebrate all month long?
No,
with, like,
I'm not a
siestas?
20-year-old girl.
Oh man. Yeah. So how do you celebrate?
Shots fired. Actually, what I really would like to do is hit up one of the hot springs type of things.
Ooh.
Maybe stay for a night, maybe two. I don't know if I can actually afford the shit to do that, but that's what I would like to do.
It's your birthday. You do something nice for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, fucking money's money, whatever. But yeah, it's something I would like to do. Here's the thing, though, Francis.
Yeah.
Going to a hot springs by yourself.
Oh. Is this
one
my
of the more
invitation
lonely-
to the hot spring with you?
I'm sorry.
Is this my invitation to the hot spring?
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no convention to go to. I mean, you could, because there is a convention that I have passes to this weekend. It is the Colorado Anime Fest, which is really going to mess with my wanting to get out of town.
So you are planning to actually go to this hot spring, and
it sounds like
you're planning to take someone with you.
I would like to. That's the thing. Now that Francis has thrown his name into the hat, I have 3 potential people.
Oh. Sorry, I'm busy this month, so you have 2 still.
Okay, so I have 2 potential people, and honestly, only one is the better choice. The one that's not going to get me in the most amount of trouble choice. Or I can go with trouble, and I like trouble.
Well, remember, there's a cleaning fee.
That there is. Outside of that, not really sure. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to see family this weekend as well. It's going to be really cool to be going to a convention. Awesome. I am nervous about going, to be really honest with you. Not for safety purposes, because I have trust in the people that are running the show. Mm-hmm. I hope that I still have it. Not that I even know if I ever fucking did, right? But
you feel out of practice.
Totally. I feel so rusty. I took my camera gear on a 4-wheeling excursion a few weeks ago, and I know it was just trucks and nature, but even just doing that, I was like, oh God. And I haven't held a camera up to my face with these glasses yet up until a few weeks ago. So I was like, oh
my
shit.
God, yeah.
So I actually had to adjust the fuck do you call it? The eye, the viewfinder.
The viewfinder and the focus. Oh,
because I had it set for a blind motherfucker that couldn't see, and now I can. So I was like, I put my head up to it, and I was like, oh my God, let me make some adjustments here.
It's like, oh, I can see.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel really, really out of. I got ring rust.
Yeah.
Big time. And I probably shouldn't have picked a horror show as my first.
Wait. You said it was an anime show.
No, I meant
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Hey, we know this person that just followed us.
Oh, who followed us? I didn't see the little blooping thing.
Oh, it was the Master of Raptors. Hi, Savannah. We miss you.
Sad. Yeah.
What was I talking about?
So I thought you said that there was an anime convention this weekend.
There was this past weekend, yes.
Oh, the past weekend.
Yeah, the one that we just exited, this 3-day weekend. And it's actually the first year since 2015, I think. I haven't been to.
It's funny because you talk about these conventions. So Dragon Con was a few weeks ago, and of course Twitter was angry at Dragon Con for even happening during a time like this. But they were, they're fairly safe, I guess. I don't know too much about it other than, like, I know there was one person that ended up being positive for COVID and they ended up leaving. But they were, like you had to test negative, and you have to have the vaccine in order to get into the convention in the first place. So anyway, there's a lot of that stuff going on. So it seemed like, I'm like, hey, Martha, you kind of wrangled us to go next year. You kind of promised we would go next year. You want to see video of what a convention looks like? I'm pretty sure I scared her off all conventions. She didn't realize how crowded, even this one, which was barely crowded, it was like half attendance, and she was like, that's too many people. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's a convention. Like, you've always wanted to go to San Diego Comic-Con. It's worse than that. Like, imagine that times 20. So I said, and also you got to look at anime cons and check out their cosplay. She's like, why? And I showed her a video of the cosplay. She's like, they dress like that? Like, that's how they dress? Is like they barely have anything on. And I'm like, yeah. And the worst part about it is you don't know, like, the worst part about anime conventions, at least the regular conventions, you can kind of tell. At anime conventions, the demographic skews younger, so you have to look everywhere else because you never know. Dude, you guys have to be always looking somewhere else.
The first year that I started doing press, this anime show that just passed up was the first show to give me a chance in the local area. And after gaining my pass, I was so happy and excited. I walked in with my camera and, microphone and everything. And I stopped and looked around and looked at the average age of the people that were there. And I told all my friends, I'll be right back. And I came back about 10, 15 minutes later, and they were like, where's your camera? And I was like, safely put away in my car, away from lawsuits and illegalities. But as at least the thing here in Denver, you see the same faces at all the shows, regardless of what type of show it is. So I've become really comfortable with taking photos at the anime show because I know the faces, even if they're in different makeups and different wigs and what. It's like, oh, hey, I don't really know your name, but we always do this thing, so let's do this thing again. So I'm a lot more comfortable now. But yeah, if I don't know the person, I'll take a picture from afar.
Yeah, I guess it's harder here where the state is, we're in the we're in the 8 digits population, right? You know, like, so there's far too many people. There's far too many individuals, and too much. There's just too much going on all at once here in Southern California for you to have regularity. Oh, and I think we're lost. We're gone we're off air.
It just jumped back on. We're still going.
Oh, okay. Because mine is blinking and major stuttering issues.
Yeah, I have no control over it.
I think it's just me because it keeps pausing and playing at the same time. I must be pressing a button or something. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that the convention itself is. I definitely scared her away from conventions in general. I think she's no longer interested in going to a convention. I'm like, you got to go. You promised that we would go to Dragon Con next year. So now that she knows that Dragon Con is pretty crazy, it's really just a strange thing. And she's not that level of nerd either. Like, she doesn't understand Star Trek, right?
Right.
She's a Star Wars fan, and she likes the Marvel stuff. But she's a little more surface level than she is like, oh, I know I know the in and outs of Star Trek. I know the ins and outs of, what is it called? Oh my God, the one with the brown coats and the JJ. It was a Josh Whedon show with the space cowboys.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one
with John Barrowman.
But that one. But that one is like, that has a huge fan base, right?
Right. Yeah, the one that we can't think of.
The one that we can't think of.
Yeah.
So.
Firefly.
What happened?
Firefly.
Thank you.
That was the movie, right? Or was that Serenity?
Serenity
was the movie, right?
Yeah.
Serenity
was the movie. Firefly was the name of the actual series.
Yeah.
So not into any of that stuff.
Horror,
no. Doesn't like horror.
Anime, I'm not really a horror guy. I'm not really an anime guy, but the costumes at anime shows are just amazing. And the cosplay.
Yeah. She likes that.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I was gonna say she likes anime at least. Like that she enjoys. She enjoys watching like old school, like 90s, early 2000s anime. So she has that going for her.
I think an anime show is a good place to start. At least, I mean, they're, again, you live in your own fucking country out there in California land. So everything is attendance wise is going to be tenfold over, right? But I would think that an anime show would be a better place to start, just as far as like less people.
Yeah, Anime Expo is because Anime Expo is here, and that's a huge show.
Mm-hmm. We were supposed to do it a couple years ago, weren't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then there's LA Anime Con LA and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different ones. But so you are going to a horror con this weekend though?
Yeah. I am gonna go cover this thing, at least attempt to. It's like I said, I've got that ring rust, and I already got issues with my self-confidence as it is. So it's going to be very interesting, getting back in there and just being like, all right, I'm here to do a thing and let's do it. And I apologize everybody for the thing keeping dropping frames and disconnecting and reconnecting. My internet sucks. I can't do anything about it right now. So I apologize. So yeah, I was going someplace with all that, Francis.
Well,
but going to the thing should be fun. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to do it. But as soon as I am done with my responsibilities, if there's the opportunity, if the right people say yes, then I'm heading up the mountain and gonna go sit in a natural hot spring and let my balls just hang out and relax.
I've been to. I've only ever been once. We have a local hot spring here. I've only ever been once, and it has a view of our own mountains. Like, it has a view of this nice view of mountains, but a lot of people who live there, a lot of houses and stuff. And it's just like a little tub with a hose that has hot water, where it's hot in the water, but yet they have like cold water in a hose, so you can put it in there whenever you need to kind of cool it off because it's a little too hot for you, right? It was way too hot for me. I don't know how people do it. It was so freaking hot. I was overheating. I was sweating. I was like, oh my God, how does anyone do anything in here? It's terrible, but I did it because my girlfriend at the time wanted to do the hot springs. Like, okay, we're going to do this thing. It's going to be fun. And yeah, I think I spent at least half my time outside of the hot spring. Or the hot tub, I guess. It's tubs, not springs. Hot tubs. Sure. And it was just like, I can't do it. It's too hot.
I cooked myself in a hot tub once.
See, no way, no. I'm not a crab or a lobster. I refuse.
But that's what it felt like. I imagine that's what it feels like for a crab or a lobster. I felt like I had a sunburn, but but it was all internal. A mutual friend and I, you know this person, we're keeping kayfabe. But we were hanging out in my old roommate's hot tub, having a great time and just hanging out and passing the time. Didn't really realize that, I was basically in the tub the entire time. And when it came time for sleepy times, I got kicked out of my own bed and room because I was emitting so much heat that the person
so much heat.
Retaining, yeah, either way. Yeah. The person that I was attempting to share my bed with was like, "You're too fucking hot," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, baby." She's like, "No, like you're radiating heat. Get the fuck out of here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'll go sleep on the couch. Which is probably where I should have started anyway. I don't know what I was thinking. But I learned my lesson then. So if I do make my way up there, I am not going to cook myself. I am going to, moderation, Francis. Everything in moderation.
Moderation.
Yeah. So I wish we had Savannah here to chime in. I think her 10 minutes of watching is almost up, so she can start to chat. But Francis, the fuck is up with Texas?
Oh, are we going to talk about that? Really?
We don't have to specifically, but the fuck is up with Texas?
Well, it's doing everything it can to secede from the rest of the country.
Is that the plan? You know me, I don't keep up on the current events too well. So,
Texas and Florida are two states right now who are doing everything they can to kind of separate themselves from the rest of the country by sticking to very, very, very conservative views. I'm going to be technical here because I have followed everything. I follow all of this stuff kind of religiously because I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to this kind of information and this kind of news because I'm always curious. And right now, what ended up happening recently, especially most recently, was I guess what ended up happening was the state tried to pass a law that the Supreme Court could have easily just kind of swatted down. In regards to abortions, and that there is a 16-week time frame in which you can get it. Otherwise, it's illegal. And anyone who helps you in any way, shape, or form can be sued for $10,000 a piece. And it's just people are saying it's an attack on like Roe v. Wade, which is the what allowed abortions to begin with. Now. Experts are saying this is a good last because it's not not only they're gonna this is no way to pass laws. In other words, it should if it's a law that needs to be passed, it should be agreed upon on all levels of government. And right now, it was just like, we're gonna ignore this. We're not gonna do anything with this. We're not gonna say yes or no. We're just gonna let it go. And by just letting it go, it became a thing. And sets a dangerous precedent for all other countries, states, for like, yeah, you know what, we're going to pass laws that other people don't agree with just by not doing anything about it. That just will, I mean, the U.S. will implode. So this thing is actually going to, I am guaranteeing that this will go away sooner rather than later without any intervention from anybody else. It's just going to happen just because it's unprecedented and it's not something that normally happens. The one that people should really be worrying about, apparently, there's another state that's trying to make the window even shorter. And they're trying to pass that bill through. So that is, ridiculous. And there's a lot of people, and again, like with every topic, this topic has divided the nation even further, as if we needed to be divided even more. We are dividing everyone up even more, slicing up who's good, who's bad, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just a mess. It's just a huge, ugly mess. But there's a lot of resistance to it, obviously, but also I believe, again, because of the way that it kind of went through, I'm pretty sure that it'll be founded as something that's unlawful and cannot, shouldn't be, won't stick around and won't be a thing. And so people who are worried about it, I mean, worry, of course, and fight against it. But also I feel like it won't. There's no possible way that a law like this could stand, and it'll go back. Also, Mexico just recently, in one of its closest cities to Texas, said, "Hey, guess what? Abortion's legal." No, it doesn't. That's whatever. So people, at least, I guess, there's a quote unquote option for people to cross the border and get legal and safe abortions across in Mexico. That just happened today. Yeah.
Now that we have, our POI Mexican agent down there, down there, to just clarify anything that we might need, Francis,
well, she just had an earthquake, so her mind's on other things at the moment. But yeah, I'll have to ask her about it later on. But yeah, she just experienced an earthquake, which apparently is something that happens there. So I said, "Oh, when you move to California." Old hat, you already experienced earthquakes.
Yeah,
you know the deal. It's like no big deal.
Same fault line.
Same fault. Well, sort of, I guess.
Sort of.
Yeah. So So that's what. So yeah. Texas and Florida are two states that are really trying their hardest to be like, we're not going to be like the rest of the country, and that's. I actually think that's both good and bad, because then at least the people who don't like how things are in other states can they know where to go.
Yeah,
the people who
they're all gonna fucking come. They're all gonna
go.
Yeah, they're all gonna fucking come here, Francis.
Colorado, really? Why?
Weed, motherfucker.
Oh, that's true.
They'll come to your place and my place, but my place is closer.
That's true. Well, actually, isn't weed kind of legalized more states now? I think it's getting more and more legalized, right? I think.
Yeah, actually, just today, New Jersey put the wheels in motion for recreational.
Oh, okay.
I believe they are at the point of decriminalization. But yeah, rec's typically the next thing, so it's good to see that.
Oh, where are you from, Sweet and Bullets? Because you're saying they're coming there. I don't know where there is, but
yeah, where is there? I think I know who this person is, but for everybody else, that's playing along.
Yeah.
Oh,
jeez.
Hey, man.
I know.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do it. You got to do it, man. I get you.
Did you go to the IMAX this weekend, Francis, to watch any of the movies that you were planning on going to watch?
What's funny is I wanted, because we were now talking about movies. There was one movie I wanted to talk about, just that hasn't, whose trailer hasn't even come out yet.
Okay.
But I went to the website whatisthematrix.com. And if you go there, there's a red pill and a blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't clicked the blue pill yet, because I know what happens when you get the blue pill. When you get they just laughing now. Okay. But
I think laughing to the comment of, I think I'm pretty sure I knew who that is.
Oh, okay. But if you click the red pill,
Mm-hmm.
they show you a teaser trailer for the trailer that's coming out for The Matrix 4 that is coming out this Thursday. Now, here's the cute thing that they did in this trailer. So they're like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they say, you think it's, and whatever time it is in your time zone, wherever you are, they're like, you may think it's 8:22 p.m., but you're wrong. And so the guy must have said every time in the book.
Right.
He had to have, because
yeah.
he tells you the exact time it is like, no, that's not the reality. Maybe the reality is beyond that. And it's just little snippets. And everyone's saying, oh, it looks like John Wick is the new, because he has the long hair and everything. It's like, oh, John Wick is Neo. That's crazy. But I'm excited. It actually made me excited for the new Matrix. Even I haven't seen the whole trailer. I'm like, oh man, this already, the little snippets look pretty. The advancement from 1999 to 2021, I'm like, that's impressed. Like, it just looked good. Anyway, but I did see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, not in IMAX, but in Dolby Digital Surround.
Okay.
Which makes your seat shake when the sound is loud enough.
Well,
makes you feel good.
I bring up the IMAX because apparently in the IMAX trailer, the scene that everybody was theorizing was whatever the fuck Daredevil's name is.
Oh, yes. Charlie Cox. Yeah.
So they're saying apparently in the IMAX trailer, it is, you can clearly see that it is not Charlie Cox. But I am here to throw the argument. It's a trailer. You gotta remember, remember a couple of years ago when Endgame came out, and Pepper Potts wasn't in any of the shots, but then you see the exact same shot in the movie, and she's there.
What they do, this whole thing. There's an Infinity War trailer where they have the heroes running towards the screen, and you see the Hulk in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no Hulk except for the beginning of the movie, and it's Hulk in Wakanda. It's like, no, they totally just threw him in there. It's really just Bruce Banner in the Hulk Iron Man suit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the Hulkbuster suit.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, they're playing you.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they were apparently, and I haven't watched it yet on the Disney Plus, but they were showing some of the test shots to cover up Luke being in that last episode of Mandalorian.
Because apparently it was him, right? It was really him.
It was really him, but they had superimposed Plo Koon over him, which as soon as they said that, I was like, oh, of course, it's Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni voiced Plo Koon through the Clone Wars cartoon, so that's his favorite. It's his favorite character, so yeah, of course it was Plo Koon. Well, it stirred up a bunch of shit, and now people are like, well, can we have Plo Koon?
Well, no.
Hey, he only was in a fireball. You didn't see his dead body, man.
Okay, all right. Just like, any death that isn't explicitly on screen.
Exactly.
If you don't see their body parts flying through space, that didn't happen. It didn't happen.
For years when I was a kid, when the Jabba's barge explodes, there's a big piece of debris that flies through the air that I always, as a kid, I was always like, that's Jabba flying through the air.
Could have been.
It could have been. My brain totally was active enough to think that it was.
Yeah, because Jabba's not going to make it off that. Doesn't have the speed or the dexterity to get off.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, but I love that they were like, oh no, it's not Charlie Cox. It's like, yeah, no, they imposed somebody's face on his. They just masked it with somebody else. Like,
yeah. So I don't even give a shit about Daredevil, but I'm still here. I'm still thinking it is.
It's gonna be 100. Look, dude. They won't even acknowledge that the other two Spider-Men are there, and we know the other two Spider-Men are there. Like,
I forgot to send you that trailer. There was a trailer I saw that it looked legit to me, but who am I to say anything?
Is it the cell phone on the cell phone one?
It was a cell phone looking at a movie screen. This was it looked like it was in a theater, And in this trailer, you saw all three spider dudes.
That's the leaked trailer. That was the trailer that prompted them to put out the trailer that came out without the other two Spider-Man. Because I think that also, I want to say it shows, I want to say it shows more, I don't know. I thought it showed more characters, more villains in it. I think it shows Electro, and it shows like,
I believe.
you really, like you could see the other characters, the other villains. But look, I want to see that trailer because I don't care about spoilers from trailers. I mean, if they put in the trailer, it's in the trailer.
Sure.
But yeah, I think, I'm excited for this Spider-Man movie. I want to see it.
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah, I'm all for it. The way it's going, it might even be the first movie I see back in a theater. At the rate I'm going at, like I keep skipping all these movies. I'm just like, I'm not quite there yet, guys.
No, man, you got to go when you're comfortable. And when I went to see Shang-Chi, my theater was full. It was the most active I've seen my movie theater. It was packed. Mm-hmm. People were like butt to butt, getting through lines and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm almost kind of just like, we're never going to be 100% compliant in a way where this thing is ever going to go away. Sure. You just kind of I think we're going to at some point have to live with it like it's the flu. I think so.
Right.
And that may offend. I know that'll offend some people because people really hate this thing. But I'm like, you're going to it's when is it? I mean, we're never going to 100% get rid of this thing. So I've been going to the movies consistently for the last month and a half, 2 months.
Sure.
And
if you're, I mean, the way I see it, if you're going, there's no reason for me not to be going because you're a lot more, not to break your kayfabe, but you're a lot more susceptible than say me.
I get sick. I get weird sicknesses all the time. I get weird illnesses all the time.
You turned into Sylvester Stallone one time. You were in all those fucking movies. It was really cool. I mean,
man. I've had the rare condition without COVID actually, because people have been getting Bell's palsy through COVID too. Apparently,
I've heard that.
But I've had Bell's palsy, and half my face couldn't move. The right side of my face couldn't move, and I went to a job interview.
Oh shit!
With half my face not moving, and I got the job. So, but yeah, I couldn't smile because only half my face would smile. I couldn't blink. This right eye wouldn't blink. I couldn't taste anything off the right side of my tongue, which is the weirdest sensation.
That's really weird.
Taste anything off the right
that is really weird.
Yeah.
No, you would look like the Filipino version of JR.
Yes.
This is the part where you probably go, "Who's JR?" Wrestling commentator.
Okay.
Which I'm just gonna jump into the part where Francis is probably gonna stop paying attention for 5 minutes.
I talked about wrestling earlier, pre-show. So
yeah, that is true.
I'll pay attention.
I didn't do you the solid I was going to do you and send you the link for the pre-show. There was a match that was live on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how they call it, the buy-in, and they're trying to use. I really feel like the people that are gonna buy the $50 or $60 pay-per-view are gonna do it because they're already a fan. I really don't think some vignettes and a free match full of fan favorites is going to be enough to draw people that hadn't already spent that money. I don't know.
You'd be surprised how many people spend money on things that they could easily get for free, but they want to support. Like, so many people like supporting the things that they love, and they're willing to put money into it.
I mean, UFC for a while, and they may still. They would put their pre-match, their prelim matches on TNT or probably ESPN now. And then when you're ready to, hopefully that gets you excited enough to buy the pay-per-view.
I mean, look, there are movies that appear both on HBO Max and theaters. If I like it enough, I'll watch it in theaters because I want to support the movie and not just watch it for quote unquote free
right on
HBO Max. So that's how I show my support for stuff. So man, so people do it all the time. So yeah, for the matches, sure.
So AEW had their big pay-per-view this weekend. I actually went and I didn't go see it live, but I went and watched the pay-per-view with some friends, which is always makes wrestling more fun when you're with friends.
Okay.
Always. But to put it all basically in a nutshell, it was a 5 out of 5 show for me. Probably their best show that they've put on in their 3 years.
Okay.
Due to WWE's exile of talent that they've had over the past year and a half, people that were fired or let go in April, their non-competes expired in the last few weeks.
But so what other outside of AEW is there another like heavy duty wrestling kind of organization that WWE has a competition with? Or
here in the States you have Ring of Honor.
I've never heard of Ring of Honor.
Well, there you go. They have weekly TV. TNA / Impact. And then the NWA is still around. NWA has been around for a long time. It's been running at least since the 70s. Probably earlier than that. National Wrestling Alliance, I believe, is what it is. So NWA, I think, in my unprofessional opinion, I think is on the lower end there. Ring of Honor, TNA / Impact, I think you're going to have arguments on both sides as to who's the number 2, who's the number 3.
Yeah, because I know that, Impact TNA thing. Like, I've heard of them.
Mm-hmm. They've been around for a long time as well.
I was going to say, they have at least name recognition, unlike Ring of Honor. And
well, again, they've been around for a long time. Not quite as long, I don't believe anyway, as NWA. I think it's probably arguable that they've been around about as long as TNA and Impact. But due to WWE's exile of all this talent, all their non-competes, their 90-day non-competes had come up.
It's only 90 days? Wow.
Yeah. And there was a lot of rumor in the wrestling rumor mill that there were about 6 to 8 names that were very possible to appear on this pay-per-view, either as a one-shot or as a signed contract worker.
That's the scuttlebutt. Okay.
Yes. So of the people that could show up, there was a name from Japan that they brought in as well. And I'm drawing a complete blank on his name, but he's one of those deathmatch kind of guys.
Okay.
So that's going to be really cool to see this week, actually, on regular TV. It sounds like a commercial for AEW. So the people that showed up, Adam Cole, which was a huge name in NXT, which was a WWE development. His faction, the Undisputed Era, ran that show for easily a couple years. So he jumped ship, made a surprise appearance. Shortly after him, I even just fucked up. Bryan Danielson. He's been Daniel.
That's right. He's going by his real name now.
Yeah, he's been Bryan Daniel to me for the last 6 years, 4 years, something like that. So it's hard to go by to switch over to his real name, which is really funny because I did watch the media scrum after the pay-per-view. That's the fucking kind of nerd I am. Somebody called him Daniel, and he was like, Daniel? Who the fuck is Daniel?
It's Danielson.
Yeah, right. So Bryan Danielson shows up. A lady that went by the name of Ruby Riott She's kind of a punk girl.
Right, sounds so familiar. I must have that. She must have made an impact. No pun intended.
Haha.
You know, somewhere, because I know that name. Either that's a really clever name, or
I think she hangs out in your neck of the woods, Francis. Like in the punk scene in your neck of the woods.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I believe the leader guy of Rancid gave her new
really?
Yeah. Gave her last name that she's using now, which is Soho, Soho.
Sure, for
what?
South Hollywood, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. So those three huge names to show up.
Okay.
Then CM Punk had his first match after 7.5 years.
Yes, that was a big deal. I remember that being a big deal.
Yeah, very big deal. Talk about ring rust that we were talking about earlier. There was definitely some ring rust on CM Punk, and it was fun to watch him go through the steps to knock the ring rust off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was great. It was great. A great comeback, and just fun to watch somebody that used to love wrestling, hated it for a long time, and had that love come back. It was really cool. And then the big thing that I took away from the whole pay-per-view was the tag team match between the Young Bucks, who are brothers, against Penta El Zero and his brother, Rey Fenix. Penta El Zero Miro. Zero fear.
Luchadors, I guess.
Luchadors. So zero fear.
There you go.
Zero Miro. You can check on the pronunciation on that for me later. But
It rhymes. It's all that matters. It rhymes.
Right.
It's alliterative. It's fine.
So two Mexican luchadors who have been making a huge name on the indies for the last few years finally get their first belts in AEW that should have come probably 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
In my opinion, they should have put a belt on Penta 3 years ago when AEW started. It should always be about Penta.
Look, AEW is finding its footing. It's now the more dominant wrestling organization.
Francis, they found their footing, and they've taken some huge strides. Like some who's that fastest guy in the world that eats the chicken nuggets and runs with his shoes untied? What's his name?
What?
You know that guy?
I have no idea who that guy is.
The runner guy. The runner guy from Jamaica that runs all the fast.
Oh my God. I'm not going to remember. But yeah.
That guy.
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. That's right.
Yeah.
That's not funny. Whatever. I was about to play our game, but I didn't, the game's probably not funny anymore to anybody but just you and me. We'd probably get ourselves in trouble. If you want to know what the game is, start a pentagram thing. What's it called? The penta. What's it called? The thing where you donate money to people. The Patreon. That's it. Start a pentagram.
Oh man. That's so funny.
Yeah. That was really all the big stuff I had for tonight. The thing I wanted to talk about that it's such a minuscule thing. We should have talked about it to begin with, but it's one of those things you want to leave everybody with. At least I want to try and leave people with a little bit of love, right?
Oh, sure.
I'm a big fan of the Transformers. I'm a full-grown adult with the finger quotes.
Yeah. And
I still buy Transformer toys and may or may not still play with them. Pose, right?
Look, you're such a fan that I actually actively look for, if I see them, I look for a Soundwave Transformer.
I have
not Soundwave. Is it Soundwave? Who is it? No. What am I thinking of? The one with the. Is it Soundwave?
Soundwave with the tapes?
With the tapes, yeah.
Yeah. No, I have procured a new Soundwave.
Who's the boombox?
Blaster.
Blaster. Okay. I didn't want to mix those two up, but yeah. So I actively, well, now I won't, but I actively used to, whenever I saw them, like I'd want to find one that can actually transform into the tape deck. But you can't find them anywhere. Those are like some of the rarest stuff you can find.
Well, Walmart's the ones that are doing the rehashes. I just read an article earlier. Well, okay, I skimmed over an article earlier today that I believe it said that Target's getting ready to slap their dick on the table with the Transformer toys, retro stuff.
Not surprised.
Beast Wars, I believe, is what they were going after.
Well, because they're doing a Beast Wars movie.
Yes. So. Which actually, I don't know if this new Transformers movie is going to be more G1 centric or if they were filming something else. But I saw footage this weekend. I don't know in which city they're filming Transformers in, but
Toronto.
Probably. Yes, Guapo, you did just hear Beast Wars movie. It's happening.
Yeah.
From somebody's window, they stuck their phone out the window while filming was happening, and there was a G1 style Optimus Prime truck rolling down the road.
Yeah, but that's probably going to be like the last scene, right? Always, especially since Beast Wars has to be a prequel, or at least has to be pre-modern times.
Right. I'm not really sure. Guapo.
I don't know either.
I don't know what they're doing. I think it's still early enough that people aren't. There's not been too much information leaked out there yet. I know that all the signs are pointing to a Beast Wars centric movie.
Yeah, no, they've confirmed it's a Beast Wars movie.
Okay.
It's been confirmed, yeah. So we know that much, but we just don't know details on when. We know that there's an Optimus Primal.
There's a huge love for Beast Wars and Beast Machines, the sequel.
Yeah.
I think it's the CGI animation, but I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's tough because it is it's early 2000s CGI where like all of the landscape looks like it hasn't been rendered yet, and all of the robots look like they've been pulled off of an FMV from 1997.
Mm-hmm.
So I get where you're coming from, but
there's
the
good
movie
stories in there.
Oh yeah.
But it's just the animation it turns me off.
So so it's supposed to serve as a direct sequel to Bumblebee, which I don't know how that works. If it's going to be a direct sequel to Bumblebee,
I should probably get around to watching Bumblebee at least at some point.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
I have seen clips of what I assume is like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the movie where you actually get to see some G1 looking Starscream and company, and Soundwave, which gives me a robo boner, so
yeah, it's oh my goodness, that first, because it's on Cybertron, right, and that first bit is just pretty great. But overall the movie is just good. Like, it's a good movie. Way better.
I need to get around to watching it. Just sometimes things just fall off the radar for you, and you pick up other things like a buggy ass mod of a game that you have to restart from the beginning. But
I'm telling you,
the reason why I brought it. Go ahead.
Go on. No, go ahead. Good.
Well, the whole reason why I brought up Transformers to begin with is that Hasbro Pulse on the YouTubes just released now, as of this past weekend, seasons 1 and 2 of the G1 Transformers cartoon, which I own like 4 different versions of. I own the big box set that came out a couple years ago that like unfolds
VHS?
from the Matrix of Leadership.
Yeah.
It's I have a problem, Francis. I have a problem. I just bought the what's it called? Like the UHD metal case version of the movie. Because it's the 35th anniversary.
With that one song. Oh my God. Trying to remember who sang that song.
Stan Bush.
Transformers movie.
You got the light.
That's it. Yeah. Oh man.
But actually later this month, Transformers 85 animated cartoon is going to be in theaters for a 1 and 2 day event because it is the 35th anniversary this year. For me here in Colorado, I think it's in 20 days. I think it's right at the end of the month.
Okay.
I was getting ready to delete the Fandango app, and it was like, hey, I'll remind you when you can buy these tickets. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. I'll keep you around for this.
I need to see Rodimus Prime on the big screen.
It's funny because a couple years ago, for the 30th anniversary, I went to the theater and watched it. And I thought I was the only person in the theater. Well, first of all, the 14-year-old girl behind the counter was like, do you want the poster? I'm like, hell yeah, I want the fucking poster.
Yeah, of course, you always go with the poster. You got to get the collectibles.
Yeah. So I go into the theater, and I think I'm the only one in there.
Oh, no. I bet it was packed.
No, it was empty. It was empty. And so I'm in there acting a damn fool because everything on the screen was all Transformers stuff.
Oh.
Trivia and, pictures and toys and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm standing up, taking selfies, with my ticket and my poster that the girl gave me and the backdrop of the thing and having a blast.
Thinking I was then. How did I miss all this?
I don't know. I like I said, thought I was by myself. And then from way up in the nosebleeds, I just hear, oh,
wow.
Yep, just a full-grown adult having a good time at Transformers movie. Don't mind me.
You gotta have, look, if we're not allowed to have a good time at stuff that brings us nostalgia, I don't know when we're supposed to have a good time.
Right. So I will be going later this month when it's available. There you go. To bring it back to that will be probably the first movie I see in the theater is a movie that came out 35 years ago that I own. I'm looking at 2 copies of it right now.
Yeah, but nothing replaces that theater experience with the big screen and the really big speakers and the rumble and the shaking and you need that. And plus, you couldn't take your children. You don't have any kids, but kids couldn't go
that
to this
I know
movie,
of.
That you know of. But kids couldn't go to this film because they'd be like, "What? What is that?" Well, that's a station wagon. What's a station wagon? Which was Rodimus. Rodimus was really more of a camper van, but
Rodimus Prime was definitely more of a camper van. Before he was like a sports car type of thing.
Wasn't he station wagon? No, he was a station wagon.
Hot Rod was a station wagon. Or Hot Rod was a sports car. Yeah. Excuse me. Rodimus Prime was a camper type of thing.
Okay, I totally thought Hot Rod was also a station, like a fiery station wagon.
No, it was like a Lamborghini Diablo nose. Real swept angle nose.
And wasn't that the first time we were introduced to the female Transformers, the RC. Motorcycle? RC.
Yeah. There's only one RC. One of those movies gave us 3 clones of RC.
Right. She's the Smurfette of Transformers.
She is the Smurfette for sure, for fucking sure. And the best thing about the Transformers, Francis, is that never did they have to jump the shark and bring in the Transformer cousins. Because
wait a minute.
They did. No, hang on.
Okay.
As far as the cartoon went, they went, we're doing 3 seasons and we're getting the fuck out of here.
Was it only 3, really?
Really, there's only 2. The 3rd season sucked. The 3rd season sucked.
Isn't 3rd season? But 3rd season's the Dinobots, isn't it?
3rd season is after the movie.
Oh, okay.
2nd season.
So second season
second season is after the movie, technically. I think. I'm
way.
drawing a button. Maybe I think it is 2 going into 3. Is the movie? The movie's The Bridge go to 2 and 3.
Okay.
And then there was a mini series that came out called Headmasters that introduced you to the target masters, headmasters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what I was going to say is that they did their episodes and they got the fuck out. The toys jumped the fucking shark from the very beginning because they were taking I'm gonna not remember the names of the Japanese toy lines they took these toys from, but they just repurposed 3 different Transformers or 3 different toy lines in Japan and then called them the Transformers.
Look, I mean, we never got to see Blue Optimus when he was a part of that. Oh my God, the car carrying van. It was like he wasn't a semi truck anymore. He had like the bed of his truck was like you could put cars in it.
That
right?
was
and
no,
then
that was
oh, am I thinking of
Ultra
something else?
Magnus.
Oh, that's Ultra Magnus. Okay.
But the cab was Optimus Prime, painted white.
Yeah.
And then the body was the car carrier.
Okay.
So as you transform the car carrier, there was a pocket, and you could put that that white Optimus into that pocket to help fill out the rest of the toy.
Ah, the good old days.
I love Transformers. I think they're some of the coolest fucking toys that ever came out. And
yeah,
now that I'm an adult, and when they just made a why this is sometimes, Francis, I get just a little too high and just forget everything I know a lot of things about.
Sure.
But the big fucking planet eating monster thing in the movie, they made a toy of it, and
Omicron. No, Omicron.
You're close.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah.
Unicron.
Unicron.
So back in the day during the one of the cartoon series, they made a Unicron that a girlfriend got for me, actually, and it was pretty badass.
Ooh, nice.
But the one they just came out with is like $1,000, and it's the amount of folding that goes on the from sphere to robot.
Oh yeah.
Like all the panels fold on top of themselves and then fold like behind the robot legs.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool how they did it, but holy shit, it just every fold looks like you're gonna break something. I have a white Optimus somewhere.
20 minutes to go from planet to robot.
Yeah, the guy that I watched do it, he was talking the whole time, but it was like an hour-long video. I have that white Optimus somewhere, but only about half of the toy is there. The parts, the leg, the chest are missing. That sucks, Guapo. You need to find the rest of Ultra Magnus's body.
The only thing I missed that they didn't keep from original 80s, which is what. So when I was talking about finding Soundwave for you, I was talking about Gen 1, like from the 80s.
Oh, sure.
And because they have something that these newer toys don't have, which is you press on the symbol, and that's how you see whether they're a Decepticon or an Autobot. You have to press on that little square, otherwise it's just black. And so you have to press it and it changes colors. All of Gen 1 Transformers had this was the you have to push the button because what do you call it? At least for Bumblebee and for Cliff Jumper, they had it on their hoods or on the roof of the car. You press the button and it showed what they were.
It was a heat sticker.
Heat sticker.
Yeah.
And because they also had I owned one of the oh my God, he was a double agent Transformer where he would pretend to be a Decepticon.
Was he red and gray?
No, he was black. He was a car. It was like a sedan, black and maybe blue and white.
Nope. Yeah, I know. I know who you're talking about. I know the toy. I know the toy.
Yeah. And so right. And it would and so you would have that that switch. It had both of the symbols on it, depending on how you transform the car, the vehicle, because you transform into two different things, and that would determine whether or not it was a Decepticon or a Transformer or an Autobot. And I'm like, oh man, that's so awesome. They don't have that anymore. The sticker's just right there, or the symbol is just right there.
Yeah, it's like it's part of the mold almost.
It's like part of the mold.
Which
is the only thing that sucks.
Guapo's saying that his mom got it at a garage sale about 15 years ago. That is part of the fun and part of the thing that sucks about garage sale finds is that maybe you'll find the complete robot and no weapons, or they'll be like, here's a Ziploc bag full of weapons, and this Transformer that's all loose, you couldn't stand it up by itself, it'd just fall apart. But luckily, I actually the original Soundwave. Sorry, Francis.
Go for it.
The original Francis that I bought, the original Soundwave that I bought as a finger quotes adult, I bought from a consignment store, and it did come with Laserbeak or Buzzsaw, one of the two Condors, and I asked if I can transform everything, make sure it's satisfactory, and whichever Condor it was that I was playing with fell apart in my hand as soon as I started to transform it. I was like, no, this is not worth the price you're asking for now, because this is broken. You watched me not barely even touch it, and it fell apart in my hand. So let's find something to replace this with. I'm gonna keep this. Let's find something to make it worth the money you're charging me.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Hey, man, I worked in a pawn shop.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a boxed. It was like in the scale of a 10. It's probably like a 5 box. Original styrofoam, original tape in the styrofoam, which was cool. But a fairly loose tapes. They can't stand on their own. I'll say that.
Okay.
But it was, at the time, it was the only one I could find. And it was worth it to me. I did get the Walmart rehash a couple years ago.
I'm telling you, I do live in another world from everyone else, because again, I have this place called Frankensons that I can go to that has like collectibles from all decades, many of them in original packaging. Of course, that means it's that much more expensive.
Sure.
But
as it should be.
My God, you can find anything and everything you want when it comes to Transformers. I've seen so many Transformers at this place. I mean, if next time you're in the area, I'm gonna have to take you to this place, because it's a mini convention center in the sense of there's no panels or anything, but there's a bunch of vendors that just sell classic toys.
That's pretty awesome.
And I'm talking like you could find old He-Man, old everything, that play set you had as a kid, you're going to find it here. And it's here. And I hate it because I never have enough money to be like, I want to buy everything, because I really want to buy everything.
Sure.
And I just don't have the money for it.
I as you were saying about, treating yourself, I think it's good to do that. I was going to say, now that I'm an adult, and I'm aware now of knockoffs.
Oh, yeah.
1, knockoffs are cheaper.
Yeah.
2, some of the knockoffs that are out there, finger quotes, are better in millions of ways than the original toy, because they have mega posability now. I watched, there's a Japanese company that, I don't know what the company is, but they make a Soundwave that has, his fingers are posable. As far as toys go, I'm all about posability and articulation, which I guess is kind of the same thing.
Yeah. And look, when it comes to toys, Japan is they're kind of really good at really doing the toy thing. They're good at the game thing, video game thing. They're good at the toy thing. Having been going to actual Japanese toy stores and like, oh yeah, these are all immaculate and amazing, expensive, but immaculate and amazing. So, and even their little gotcha toys are like, these are way too detailed for like, $2. I'm getting a $2 thing. These are incredibly detailed. It's really cool. It's just amazing the kind of things that you can get from there. So yeah, I'm not surprised that you found one with that much articulation.
Yeah, it also, the thing about Transformers or even Macross / Robotech back in the day,
yeah,
it's the engineering that goes into it. Like the Unicron I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
To see it go from a sphere into a robot with, limbs, and somehow they were able to put enough hinges everywhere to fold the sphere basically into 2 shin pads for Unicron.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me. And the Japanese Soundwave I was talking about, it transforms very similar to the original G1 toy, but it has so much extra detail, and parts he actually has, hips that you can use and pose with, and I have a Spiderman that came out around Spiderman 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it has 167 points of articulation. Every hand has every joint in it that your hand has.
Okay.
For years, I had him standing on my mantle, throwing East Side in one hand, and I just happened to have a miniature version of Megatron that fit in his hand.
Oh yeah.
So Spidey, he's on the East Side. It makes sense that he's throwing East Side, and he's, got Megatron as a gun.
I suppose so. I hope he had Megatron sideways at least.
Well, as sideways as I can get his hand without him falling out.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say he'll probably fall out if you have it.
There are limits. There are limits to articulation as well, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But,
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, it's something that I enjoy. So when I do come across some badass things, I jump on the opportunity, because why not?
Of course.
Why not?
YOLO.
Exactly. So I kind of, we'll wrap this up here. I kind of had a little bit of a YOLO this weekend. You already know, but pretend like I've never told you this, Francis.
What happened this weekend?
I'll tell you. I definitely would not call it a date, but I met up.
What would you call it?
I called it brunch.
Okay, so you had brunch with somebody. So you ate and then you left.
Well, that was kind of, I thought, how it was going to go, because that's how it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, hey, there's a art show right down the street. We can go hang out at the art show, kind of just hang out, smoke a joint. That could be fun. All right.
So you went to a meal and an activity.
That was the plan, Francis. That was the plan.
Okay.
Well, that wasn't really the plan. That was the suggestions.
Oh, so you didn't actually go into the art?
No.
Oh. Okay.
So there was an art show. Okay. There was a thing. I'm trying to put it into comparison so you would get on board. Gas lamp. If the gas lamp was doing,
it was that kind of activity where they were just having like an event.
Yeah.
They had like an art event. Okay.
So you remember being on 16th out here?
Yeah.
That long outdoor mall with the trolleys that ran up and down the road?
Oh, yeah.
Shuttle,
I remember
not trolleys, shuttles.
Right, where the shenanigans happened. I remember
where the shenanigans happened. So they had a festival that usually takes place in a park a few blocks from there. But because be sensitive. Well, I was almost an asshole.
No.
Because I was just about to be unfiltered. But we have a homeless issue here in Denver.
Oh.
And the park that the festival usually takes place in has been riddled with feces and needles. So they decided
we can relate here in California. So yeah, go ahead.
So they decided to move the festival to the gas lamp area, 16th. So I was like, we can go check that out. You know, it's a new area. It could be a different feel. Could be fun. There's other things to check out in that. We're downtown.
Just hanging out.
There was a community day for the Pokemons. I was like, I know a few parks. We can smoke joints at the park, play some Pokemon. And what was a better idea, apparently, was let's go back to your house and get really high. And then we can figure out, do something from there. And I was like, oh, shit, you don't need to ask me twice. I like weed.
So brunch evolved into going to a place, to
yes,
someone's home.
Yes.
Okay.
So we came back here, got nice and roasted, had a funny thing going on the TV, right? Trying to keep it light. And the next thing you know, this cute girl is curling up next to me and like grabbing a pillow and, you know, getting comfy. And I was the most awkward fucking person.
Where was the distance between you and this female?
Well,
like, were you apart?
There was,
were you, like,
there was
touching?
there was distance up until she decided she was just gonna take a nap on my bed, apparently, or lay down and watch TV. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I guess the question I have is, did she actively lay near you,
yes,
or was it just coincidence that the pillow and everything have to be there?
No,
okay,
there was intended movement to get closer to me. So
now is the rest X-rated?
No.
Curiosity. Okay.
No. Even if my body was saying, let's make it X-rated.
My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes.
Something like that.
I'm just saying there ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
No, there isn't. There isn't at all. Or butt squeezing. Butt squeezing is a lot of fun too. But you know, it's I was the most awkward person in the world, Francis, because as you know, I haven't had much of the affection in a few years now. You know.
Well, as someone who was in a similar situation, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very, very awkward. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, do I caress the arm? Do I tickle the back? Do I just get up and sit on the floor across the room? I don't know what to do here. Just because I don't know the intent.
Well, so for this is my advice to you, should you find yourself in a situation like this again, to no one else out there. As I'm learning online and as I'm learning from other people who kind of share stories like this, the best thing to do is to ask.
Yeah. Funny.
It's like, what would you like me to do right now? You know what? They'll find that cute and they'll be like, why don't you just do this? And then it'll lead to X, Y, and Z. If you don't want it to lead to X, Y, and Z, well, then that's up to you. But
sure.
Yeah, once you ask,
well,
it's pretty good from there.
I don't know if she picked up on the awkwardness that was happening and oozing out of me, but the thing that we were watching, a thing on the topic about a tattoo came up.
Oh,
and she mentioned something about wanting to get new tattoos, and I was like, oh. So do I, actually. I'm getting
like your tattoo.
I'm getting a tattoo of Leroy Jenkins as a tramp stamp. And this girl, she goes, why? I was like, oh, because anytime I get nervous and I'm about to do something fun, I internally scream, Leroy Jenkins, and I go for it. She goes, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was like, and to be honest with you right now, half of my brain is screaming Leroy Jenkins, and the other half of the brain is going, I don't think she's into it.
I mean, that's a more indirect way to see whether or not she
was definitely interested.
Okay.
So that made it even more awkward and nervous for me. But, it was a great time because I got to hang out with somebody, and which I haven't got to do in a long time. So,
Yeah.
well,
The first,
there
but
may
definitely
be
not the last.
there may be more stories to come from this.
I'm excited.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But when you haven't had affection in a long time, sometimes you just say yes to any affection. And
Yes, I agree.
And sometimes you say yes and you're not, whatever. We'll figure this out.
I did that. I understand.
We'll figure this out soon. You did do that. I think I was witness to that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that again, Francis.
I don't have to now. I have somebody.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that made for a very bummer of a weekend, probably for you.
Well, I mean,
And and all weekend I was the asshole friend that was like, "Hey, man, let's do this camera thing. Let's get you on camera."
Better. That was good. No, that was good. That was good. You gotta distract in those situations.
Sure. But I think we hit all of our bullet points. We've gone past the time that we normally go past, mostly because the stream sucked at the beginning there in the middle part.
And now it's great. It's been great this last hour.
I've been watching. I see the numbers look great, and we're hanging at a steady 30, which is what I like to see. I apologize. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, and there is some things in the background that I'm working on, but that is of no interest to anybody but Francis and me. You'll all get the benefit of it, but it's of no interest to you right now. So with all of that being said, Francis, you know what time it is. It's actually time for me to go to bed. But
I was going to say, it's time to Road to 2000.
Oh, God damn it. Where's the button thing? There's that. Road to 2000, yes. If you made it this far and you have not liked, followed, shared, etc., 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 please do. There's the horn for Francis. Yeah. Road to 2000. We're so
close.
We are close. We are on the road to 20.
Yeah.
And then we take over the world with 2000. And Francis, you're going to be there for all of the numbers. We will update you and everybody else as we get more numbers. And you in the chat that has been here, like Guapo and Ginger and what was that, Sassy Pants or whatever that was. Who was that?
Oh my God, it was Swiss and Bullets.
Swiss and Bullets. Thank you all for hanging out.
Don't forget, wait, and our new follow.
two new follows.
Oh, 2 new follows.
We got what is it? Host. Well, that makes me think that it's a bot, but Host 00312. And if you're not, I apologize, but that's an odd screen name. And our lovely friend, Master of Raptors. Why weren't you following us before anyway? But that's okay. Guapo, as always, you're part of the reason why I'm even doing this. You gave me some extra confidence for me to even be doing these stream things. Otherwise, it would just be Francis and I chilling out on the audio as we have been doing for the last 10 years. So I appreciate you, my friend, more than you realize.
So twitch.tv/guapograms if you're
yes.
and if you want to check out that guy. He does gaming and all sorts of things. Too late for me to be up though, unfortunately, man. He's way late.
Most of the streams, yeah. I think Guapo's ending his streams when I'm getting ready to go to work.
Man, I'm asleep.
Typically, Guapo's like Guapo will be like the first person to comment or make an emote on my my daily posts.
The man is dope.
Yes, very much so.
The dopest. Yes.
2:30. Yeah, right. I mean, that's what 2:30 a.m. is when I get up. Your guys' time is when I get up, and then I get ready to go to work. In an hour from there, I make my post.
Too tired.
Yeah, I typically am too. You can really look and see it on my face. Francis, if they want to see your gorgeous face, where can people find you at?
Well, then Instagram at aka the other guy. That's where you see my face. The only thing I really want to promote soon is that in a few months, I'll be promoting it pretty much as I can. A book is coming out where I have written a piece of it. I have a short story and a big book.
Francis is going
anthology.
to be a published author.
I'm going to be a published author. So I'm just putting it out there now. Beyond when I mention it, buy it. So because not only are you awesome, but you're supporting me and a bunch of other really good writers.
Yes.
So
friends of ours.
Yeah. I don't know if I can tell. Well, it's another few months, so I'm not gonna say anything until I have confirmation. But I just want to just plop it in your head so that you remember, so that when it actually happens, you're gonna buy the book. Go get it. It's about dragons. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I have a story in there. I think it's cute. It's a good story. I hope. So we'll see. I don't know. I might be a bad writer. I mean, who knows? But
Francis, you wrote a fucking cartoon, man.
We all have never seen the light of day.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm starting to think we should just put it out as an episode. Like you should put it out as an episode.
No, you should put it out. It was a PO. It was a POI podcast network collaboration. It's not. It was one I didn't do on my own. I just wrote it. It was a collab. So I'd be happy to have it on here as an audio, as like an extra episode or a bonus thing. If you have like Patreon.
Yeah, a pentagram
thing. A pentagram.
Yeah. It'd be like the POI podcast at Pentagram, or something like that.
Just check out our POI OnlyFans.
Oh yeah. You see the shadows of me and Francis's schlongs.
Yeah.
Can't show you the whole goods.
No.
But that's where you find Francis. Any place else? You got anything else going on this week?
New episode of Online Friend Simulator should be. I'm going to record it this week. I just don't know when, but I'll have one up soon. I gotta get a better schedule and get it out there regularly. But yeah,
you do.
Yeah,
good stuff. Well, you can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. What's up?
You play video games.
I play video games here on the Twitch. I play a video game right now anyway. It's the LSPDFR mod for GTA 5. I had to dump everything and start over because I was noticing that there was definitely something wrong. There was no cars in the game. GTA should be filled with fucking traffic, and there was not very much traffic.
How can I arrest anyone if there are no
exactly
cars?
So I was like, you know what? I've done this so many times now. I can delete the file. I have a backup. I can load everything in probably 30 minutes and then spend an hour or so, getting everything to get back to the way I like it. So I will be back playing that probably not tomorrow, Thursday. I'll be back for playing that on Thursday. But otherwise, Twitter, you can find that at POI Podcast. 314-764-7631 is the phone number you can call into the show. We can hang out together. You could text message me through that number as well, or leave a voicemail if you are shy. And then the email is the POI Podcast at gmail.com. And YouTube is POI Podcast, where you can find all of these recordings. And if you're watching them on YouTube, hit the follow and the things and do all that sort of stuff. I even got an animation for that I forgot to play. So I'll play it right now. I hit the button a third time. This is like a record of doing the theme 3 times in a row. I think I actually have to pay this motherfucker now. But yeah, follow us, subscribe, do all the things because we have fun here, even though sometimes it is a mess. Anything else you'd like to add, Francis?
No.
Great, good, because I need to go to bed in like 9 minutes. So everybody, thank you for hanging with us again. I apologize for the mess that was the beginning of this thing, but it all works out in the end. We will be back here next week, 7:30ish as always, and join me on Thursday evening, afternoon for some fake cop stuff. See you guys later. Bye.